Hey everybody, Shawn here. Today we are checking out the Morgan Amps 10-year anniversary JMI model. Now what's the story behind this amplifier? Well, Joe Morgan has been building amplifiers for 10 years now, and to celebrate that anniversary he's brought back a model that he built actually before Morgan became Morgan Amps. It's called the JMI. Now what is the JMI? It's a top boost circuit, our favorite British top boost circuit. So you've got volume, treble, bass, and a high cut. It also comes with the Morgan power scaling, and we'll get into that in the demo. What's really cool about this is it has an extra gain stage. Now that extra gain stage isn't necessarily to create more boost or even overdrive. It's to allow the player to play at slightly higher levels, but cleaner, and this amp certainly delivers from that standpoint. Now it also has a pull bright on the volume, and we'll get into that in the demo. So yeah, let's check out some sounds on it. So it's really touch responsive. Responds well to hotter outputs, so just going from a neck position to a hotter bridge pickup. Just really sweet sounding. I'll go ahead and turn the volume up a little bit. So there's a little bit more breakup there. But I love how it responds to different inputs, because in that demo, the opening song, I used all kinds of different guitars and had zero struggle getting sounds. Didn't even think about using an overdrive or a boost box, even though this takes pedals extremely well. I got all those sounds from the 12-string guitar all the way to the PRS just off the amp itself. So it's just really responsive to different inputs. So the treble and bass on this amp are very interactive, just like a typical top boost circuit. So I'll just sweep them. Here's the treble all the way up. Now, did you notice as I brought the treble back to about noon, yes, there was less top end, but there's also more low mids and bass. Then if I roll it all the way the other way, now I'll do the same thing with the bass. Let's go bass all the way off. So once again, when you turn the bass all the way up, you're obviously getting more bass, but you're hearing a treble cut there as well. So you just use the two controls interactively. See, I like that because it gave me more top end, but it also gave me a high mid and rolled the lows off without even touching the bass. I'll leave that where it is. Now that's where the high cut can come in. Like say that might be a little too bright, but you don't want to move that treble because you're digging the actual shelf you've created. Well, you can back top end by using the cut. So it's just a really usable, dialable circuit. As we start cranking gain, the amp stays together really well. And once again, this circuit comes in really handy when you're wanting to dial in a tighter low end, or maybe a more barky top end, or maybe you want it to be more of a warm kind of solo tone. That's kind of what I went for when I used that PRS for the solo track. It's just a really dialable amp. And it just retains this really sweet, there's a sag to it, but it's not overly compressed when you totally crank the gain like that. Just really sounds great. So that's essentially the amp. And what I should do real quick is I'm going to do the power scaling. So right now we're pretty darn loud. I'm going to go ahead and start using the power scaling. I'll cut it back quite a bit. And it's going to retain the same tone and feel, but quite a bit softer. If I turn it down even more, I can get it so that my guitar acoustically is louder than the amp. And it still feels great. So the power scale is just killer on it. Sounds really, really good. Now the other thing I didn't show you, and I will do that right now, is the pull bright. So let's go to kind of a clean thing. So that's beautiful if you're wanting some more glass up top and a little bit more stringiness. It's just a really sweet top end. Because we could turn, go ahead and let all the top end through on the cut and turn up the treble. But it's a different top end. It's a little bit more of a high mid top end. To get the really sweet top, you can use the pull bright. And now you're getting that really jangly, voxy top end. And that's actually what I used when I used the 12 string in the track. I turned the volume down so it would be really clean. But the top end was just gorgeous. So that's what the pull bright does. And you can tell going from this level to get a little bit cleaner to this level, that's quite a bit of a volume jump without actually creating gain or overdrive. So that's the whole idea behind that extra gain stage. It just works really well. So that is the Morgan Amps JMI. Really great sounding amp. There's only going to be 50 of them. If you've got any further questions, go to the Morgan website and check things out. And as always, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you next time.